everyone. This is RAND. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, July 23, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We will be having a time for change call tonight after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about what's going on behind the curtain. I've had several reports from Europe and different places that dispel a lot of rumors, is number one, of people that are in the trenches out there. One of the biggest influences that I believe the majority of the civilization, it isn't aware of it. A structure has been put in place of actual programming. And, we are a supercomputer. The brains, they still don't understand full functionality of the brain, even though they say they do. And many have been convinced that we live in a world that ignores the fact that a supreme, divine, all-loving intelligence lives within us. And again, we've been programmed to believe that we are spiritually disconnected and must fix our broken selves to feel whole and reconnected again. And you can see it, not in judgment, but just watching and viewing, you can see the effects of that programming. So we're supposed to, ignore, or it's an everyday ignorance of our spiritual nature. Ignorance means that we just don't have the knowledge. And it's the greatest lie mankind is living today. Now, some of us, we stumble into it and we discover things. And we realize that something is amiss. We detect it. We feel it. We're not sure at first, but then as we delve more into the rabbit hole, we start to figure it out. Now, if you had a blank drive, right? Data drive. What would you program that? What information would you put in it? For you. Whatever you choose, whatever you have picked, goes in there. And wouldn't it be interesting that you could actually design information for you by reviewing the truth? Wouldn't that be something? You could review the truth and then for yourself put in certain programming that would help you in this life. Knowing the truth and then living a lie is the two huge differences. I mean, the difference between day and night. So when we look at that, and then we realize that things are out of kilter. So as we discover, we replace crap with good stuff. Right, I'm going to plug this, I'm going to wipe that off, and I'm going to put this in. And it pretty much is, no matter what you've been told about all of this stuff that's coming in the galactic flash and this great central sun. And see, we are the essence of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. That's bottom line. So we're plugged into all of it. And we will get our memories back. collectively. But right now, when you look at the disjointedness of the civilization, you have the majority that are lost in a void. Their spirituality is in the back seat. Most of them embrace the religious aspects of mankind. And most religions, as we know, are man created by man. When I say man, I mean female and male. So it's kind of murky for us, but we maneuver. We kind of maneuver through it, and then we come out the other end, and then we do it again. And we do it again, and we do it again, and we do it again. The reason we keep doing it is because we don't know we've done it. Now, this lifetime that we're all in, we have is meant to be a deeply enlightening experience. Is there anything more important than knowing how to access your own direct personal connection to an all-powerful, deeply eternal, loving source of highly intelligent creative energy that has the magical power to manifest anything your heart desires? And there is nothing more vital to finding happiness in this life than knowing one's spiritual connection. And nothing more exciting than a proven way to access it, which works every time. And it's interesting because no matter how ridiculously stuck any of us feel about our financial situations, our relationships, our health, sex life, and future, there is always a way to reach freedom. If you wish to gain a greater spiritual perspective in life, you make the choice today to clarify your personal relationship with the divine. And I go over these questions a lot. I review them to remind myself. And they're kind of like a golden path. What is stopping you from always being in communion with God? What exactly is your relationship with God like? What does it feel like when you are having a truly intimate connection with God? How often do you recognize and connect with the divine aspects of yourself? How is your life different when living with this connection versus without it? And it's kind of like any of us. I don't care what age we are in this life. The longer we sit with these questions and feel into our answers, the deeper we'll dig into our soul and eventually discover our spiritual connection. It is never too late to connect. Even if you've wasted 75 years of your life on gluttonous, frivolous, mindless activities, feeling perpetually lost in a superficial life, the God source is still here. The door to the divine is always open. The God is waiting for every one of us to come in. And when you take one step towards God, God takes 10 steps towards you. Make time to redefine your relationship with the divine. And I guarantee you that your precious time will not be wasted. You always look first into your heart, then your head. Always into the heart, and the head. The head is so full of ideas about what God is, and it's not. The head misses the real experience, feeling, quality of godliness when the mind is quiet, still, single, pointed in the now. We can instantly find that deeply alive spiritual feeling inside. The God source already exists within the heart and at the core of our soul. As we relax into this place, a timeless, deeply eternal loving consciousness energy sneaks into us and relaxes every cell and fiber of our very being. And see, we have this open access. It isn't like it's locked away. It's like I said, the door is always open. Some things, that we believe are in the physical reality, in order to tend them at a higher level, higher degree, is to go into the spiritual. Commune with the God. Miracles happen every day. We all know that. And this is when we go into believe in miracles territory. Because when we go into there, we're communing with the God, which is the most powerful, high frequency, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. So we have the power, but the majority of us don't know how to tap it. How do we tap the power? We don't know. Most people don't know. And most people have doubt, fear, and guilt. And they don't believe it. Their trust and confidence and faith isn't at 100%. And they don't believe in a lot of things. And this is why we have such a huckabucky type operation on this planet, where people are coming and going, and people are leaving the body, people are coming into the body. There's all kinds of things going on. We definitively know certain things, those of us who are aware to a certain extent. And what we do know is pretty, let's just say, clear. We know what the attempts are on this planet, the things that are happening. We look beyond the veil. We look beyond the deception. And we just see things as we observe, watch things. What you're told is not correct, what you're told. Hasn't been for eons. And it's for us to discover and to dig through the piles for ourselves to determine what the heck it is that is truth. What is truth? And that's our mission to a certain extent, multifaceted, that the truth is within us of the God that we are, and the divinity, and the enlightenment, and the bliss, and the joy, and the peace, and the love. So it's not external, is my point. We've been doing it backwards. We've been seeking outside of ourselves. Yeah, we find some things here and there sprinkled around. But all in all, there's always big pieces missing. And we keep searching and we keep looking, and these pieces, we just keep looking. And maybe we find a few more, but we never build the complete puzzle. And we're missing the most vital part, which is within us. That's where we discover everything. It's funny because you get in the habit of being outside yourself and looking for, what? What are you looking for? You're looking for something's going to save you, right? When you're the one that saves you. You have the ability to communicate with the almighty power, which you're part of. It's like I've stated many times that we will learn through different devices, like I've talked about the broad range replicator and the celestial chamber. We will learn from devices, kind of like our teachers in a certain respect, okay? And we'll learn about these certain devices, and we will learn from the perspective that, and as we go more and more into spirituality, we turn things around, say. We're not backwards. We're now front, moving forward. So we eliminate the lies and the deceptions and everything. And then we realize that we have the power that these technologies have. After all, the collective consciousness created them. We're all part of the collective consciousness, right? So it's a different from using something and it does things for you, right? But you just rely on it to do things for you forever. You don't do them. And that's what's gotten us into an atrophy, so to speak, on this planet. We lose sight of the fact of not exercising our certain powers, and so the powers go dormant. And do we do it? We don't do it on purpose. We usually do it subconsciously or unconsciously. But when you really look at it from the standpoint of saying that you've always been the master and commander, always, of your direction. Something cataclysmic happens in your life, physical or whatever, it really is up to you with your abilities to heal yourself, no matter what's going on. And not listen to the chatter out there. See what I mean? Not listen to the chatter out there. And what that does is it moves you deeper within yourself. A lot of people are, seeking what? What are they seeking? Well, they're seeking healing technologies. They've been told a lot about it, right? That comes in due time, but in the now, what we do have is ourselves. In the now, we have ourselves. So, we rely on ourselves. We have confidence in ourselves. We have trust and faith 100% in ourselves and universe. That's tough because we're challenged, say, in certain situations. We're pulled here and pulled there. The vibrational frequencies can be real low and they try to pull us in there. Sometimes we'll feed those vibrational frequencies. And then when we're challenged, what do we usually do? We seek outside of ourselves. Mostly. When we're the master and commander. We're the master and commander of these bodies. Not strangers that tell you things that are skewed. And the interesting thing is that some of us look that you find that God is the most mysterious thing in this universe, perhaps because it is the universe. And God exists in everyone and everything, including those people you think are deeply disconnected. And it's within us. You can't get any closer than that. It's not religion, though, see? The people get it mixed up with religion. It's spirit, spirituality. It's communing with the God that you are within the body. Period. It's a mysterious infinite energy rather than some fixed stagnant entity. And the great isness is instantly found when we stop and feel into this eternal quality, which feels like we are always and forever here now. The isness is our infinite nature. And this can only be experienced when we are living fully in the now, exploring life from a relaxed, trusting connection. The divine isness is the most accepting, healing, forgiving energy one can imagine. The isness is the source of deep eternal love, which when even momentarily welcomed, we instantly feel the most profound ecstatic joy inside our heart. The knowing that we are eternal spiritual beings, eternal, moves through us throughout this day like a healing river of eternal liquid love. The very second we surrender our heart to just the idea of an eternally loving isness, we immediately find real peace, a sense of bliss, and a feeling of real satisfaction that cannot be compared. Knowing this isness is our basic nature, we start radiating like the sun, start shining our spiritual essence onto everyone in our lives. And the only reason that any of us may not feel, believe, and know that God is right here within the very center of our body, soul, and heart right now is because of one thing blocking the way. And we know what that is. It's the mind. And see, the mind is wanting something, willing something, thinking it is lacking something, trying to reach a better place other than the great isness that's here now. We'll easily miss our spiritual path. We'll find ourselves living in thoughts about God instead of experiencing the real divinity. And if we get too lost in the head, we might end up walking into some highly intellectual, materialistical, and spiritually dry future. Learning what it takes to be truly, fully here now. To feel the divine isness, we must first begin feeling whatever is up for us in this moment. We must explore how we can let go of the mind and open ourselves up emotionally, feeling everything that is here now. And when we call off the mental search, looking for God out there, and simply feel into the core essence of our being, we find that we have been the ones who were hiding and protecting ourselves from the divine. God has always been here, is always here, radiating within every atom in existence as we drop deeper beneath the thinking mind, and through our blocked emotions, we discover the greatest source of peace, silence and stillness. This is where God abides. And as Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. And the truth for us, all of us, is that the most radical truth, perhaps, about this human existence is this. We humans are either existing in some form of suffering or living in some form of bliss. We are either in one or the other. We're either living up in our head or we're in the heart of God. And once we quiet the mind and open our heart together, we can live a balanced life in both realms of head and heart. Doing this, we then start merging with the infinite mind of God. If we can remain in this balance 24 hours a day, we will master this lifetime. Then every thought we think manifests into forming or living reality. And by living in constant emotional connection with the divine from our core, we become a living bliss, breathing, manifestation machine, perpetually creating every beautiful idea we feel and focus upon. And we all know there's not many things guaranteed in this life. Yet one thing is 100% guaranteed is this. At some point, you are going to return to God. It will happen either when your body is still alive or when your body stops breathing. Eventually, you'll feel intimately connected with God again. So do not worry about when or how. All roads lead back to God. And the path ahead and the path behind you both lead back to God. God is unavoidable because our past and future are just mental concepts which only exist within this living present moment. So it's truly up to us. Period. So when we are contemplating and looking, and when you're relaxed into your body, still as a statue, focus on your breath rising and falling, you're tapping into the God that you are. When you need strength, you tap into the God that you are. When you need reassurance, comfort, you tap into the God that you are. Separate than the body. Okay? And you commune with the God. You just kind of say, what are we going to do about this? How are we going to fix this, heal this, do this, or do that? And things will come in. Like out of nowhere. And so what we do is rely on the God within us. Not outside of us, but rely on the God within us. And do what we know is true. Because I always say that you've got to be really good with yourself on all fronts. Loving yourself, caring for yourself, and being in joy and bliss and happiness for yourself. And knowing that you are the God and that you commune with the God. Before you can go out there and help anybody, there's a lot of people will jump the gun and they're not sorted. They're not things are not together for them. But they jump the gun, and then things become more muddled. And in order for our species of this planet Earth to not only survive but flourish, we got a lot of things to shift in our thinking and our perceptions. Because we all know that all the money and tea in China, without a correct and proper purpose, is worth anything. And we have the ability to call upon the God whenever we choose. But here's the key: 100% confidence, 100% faith, 100% trust in yourself and the God and this universe, because the universe is God. And God is at the center of our soul. Completely. There's the soul. Soul comes in. Inside the soul is the God. We can shift, move, change. We can do miraculous things. How many times have you read or seen or experienced where someone says, that's impossible? That can't be. It's their thinking, see? Anything is possible. And we put all these limitations on us because of our programming, so, it cuts it off. Nothing can be done. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. That's not possible. And yet, some of us have done the impossible because we reached into the God that we are. That's what it's all about. Reaching into the God that we are. Just depends on when any of us are truly ready to step into the room where the God resides. Because there's many that just are not there yet. This is where we are transitioning, we are transcending into a God-planet paradise. Those of us that embrace it will be there. Those of us that don't will continue to incarnate until they get it. Then they'll join us. Now, I'm not talking about bodies, okay? I'm talking about the God within the soul, the souls that enter the bodies. And this civilization has not even begun to go from its rightful place in the universe. It hasn't stepped into that yet as a universal civilization. That will do phenomenal things for all life. And it's up to us as to when we choose that direction. Do we fight each other, disrespect each other, manipulate one another, deceive one another, lie? Or do we just finally divorce that and move into bliss, joy, love for oneself and others? And this has been discussed for ages. We all know that. And it just depends on who's ready to do it and embrace it and who's not. That's what it boils down to. It's not about forcing, conditioning anybody. It's about deciding to take that step and not look back. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return, close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in from the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Relaxed into your body. Focused on your breath rising and falling. Surrender or suffer. Stop trying to control everything and relax into the spiritual essence and eternity of your being. If your ego keeps trying to control your life, you're just creating more suffering. Once you surrender to every little thing that life is offering you, naturally you'll discover a permanent state of bliss is shining inside you. This bliss is your spiritual nature. It is naturally at your core in every living, breathing moment. Only through a total 100% surrender can you discover this amazing experience. No half or quarter surrender will do. The all-powerful, magnificent being you truly are would never settle for anything less than the full meal deal. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, into the following morning. And we will return here tonight after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue in time for Change Call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.